So the Musketeers, they are pretty balanced. 66 in adjusted offense, 51st in adjusted defense. The defense has been the strength, 74.2 points per game they're allowing. Having said all that, UConn is just too good. The offense ranks 3rd in KenPom. Obviously, that is their strength, 13th in defense. But I just don't know how Xavier keeps up with the Huskies. I know this is a big number. I will lay it minus 14.5. I see at one book. I'm going to lay the points with UConn. All right, so Jaylen Brown is dealing with a back issue. Porzingis is out for Boston. Meanwhile, everyone's getting healthier for the Suns. We got Booker back. What are we doing? Plus 6.5 for the Suns? I love this play. I don't know what I'm missing here. I mean, I guess maybe Jaylen Brown will play, but if he's dealing with back issues, and as Joe said, like KD and the Suns as underdogs, got Booker back. I think they're playing well. They just beat the Nuggets too, not too long ago. This is a good Suns team. I get it, big picture. Maybe you don't want to put some futures on them, but in this specific matchup against the C's tonight, I like the Suns as underdogs plus 6.5. That's a great question. Talk about a game you don't want to touch. Yeah. This is a lot. Minus 7.5. Do we have that much confidence in this Bucks team? I don't know who they are. They've been so inconsistent. I will probably pass. I don't have much faith in the Sixers at all, but I also am not laying 7.5 with this Milwaukee team. I will be on Vodtech in this one. They won the ACC tournament just a couple years ago, which I like that because come this time of year, what do we like? Experience, right? And head coach. And thinking, should we look at the under here? Notre Dame 33 in adjusted defense, Wake Forest 45th. Maybe scoring will be harder to come by. The total 136.5, which is already pretty low. What about in the Big East? It's UConn as the heavy favorite, and then everyone else. Who you like in this conference? Let's look at today's slate. Not the sexiest, but I am looking forward to Gonzaga, St. Mary's. Are you with me? Are you laying the points with the Zags?
You know.
Do I look like a hater?
Yeah.
Yep.
No.
They beat Phoenix Sunday. They beat the Clippers. They beat Denver back on January 31st. They've got some pretty good wins. Whereas the Lakers, I mean, it took them overtime to beat the Wizards, who are like the worst team in the NBA. What are we even doing? They didn't have any answers for Jokic. I'm sure they'll have a better effort tonight, but I can't back them. I'll be on the Thunder plus 1 or 1.5, wherever the best number is. One thing that concerns me is the Cardinals' defense is so bad against this really good Texans offense. So will I bet an over? It came down a little bit. Wasn't it 49? Now it's like 47.5. I think he's motivated now. He's in the MVP conversation. I think stats-wise, he's going to continue to try to pad those stats and, keep his name in that conversation, whether he can win it or not. If this did become a blowout, which with Kyler Murray looking good, I doubt it will. But even if it did, I'm not worried about going over 262.5 for CJ Stroud. Maybe even ladder it, alt passing, all of that good stuff is my favorite play. I'm going to go back to my favorite bet, though, with Jordan Love. Back to his rushing prop, over 9.5. He has gone over that 9 times. Ed, one of your favorite numbers.
9 times.
Yeah, the Ferris Bueller. Let's run it back again. I'm going back to Jordan Love. I love Tommy DeVito. Maybe I'll go back to some of his props. But the Jordan Love rushing prop, I think he can easily go over this one, 9.5. Ottinger's been inconsistent, and this totals at 5.5. Vegas can do this by themselves to get over 5, so I'm going to bet over 5.5. I found minus 108 is the best number out there right now, so I like the over in that game tomorrow. As I mentioned earlier, I'm sticking to it. LeBron over 8.5 assists. He's been going over this consistently. I get it, backs up against the wall. You're going to get an all-out effort from him. I don't know if he's banged up or what. He just doesn't seem the same, so I think he'll still be dishing it out. I love the Jamal Murray 850 Western Conference Final MVP, but I can't bet that in my state, or I would. And then I'm going to go Schroeder. Under 7.5 points. What a gross bet to be rooting for. It's even money at BetMGM, but that just sounds fun. Mike Brown.
There it is.
Mike Brown. Okay, many people didn't even realize the Kings still existed in the NBA until this season. That is how impressive it is what Mike Brown has been able to do. The Kings have been really good. They've surprised everybody, and I think Mike Brown deserves the credit, whereas I don't think Joe Mazzulla deserves all the credit for what he's doing. He has a really good roster. So for that reason, I'm out on Missoula, and I do like Mike Brown at plus 250. Impressive that they got here, and Jordan Love has slowly and quietly improved throughout the season, but I don't expect the Packers to do a whole lot in the playoffs. The Tomlin factor is intriguing. I know. I don't think so either. I'm not sure they can win one playoff game. And then, now you've got TJ Watt injured. I don't know how they're going to stay in this. The only thing is the Tomlin factor. Like, will he be able to find a way to keep this game close? Because the Steelers are getting no respect right now, the way this line is moving. I kind of just want to stay away from it at this point. Almost every team could use a quarterback. And if you don't, like, you might as well see what you have with a young quarterback on a rookie deal. It's a good problem to have if you do strike gold on one of them. So I think having more quarterbacks in the first round getting drafted is a good idea, because so many teams, whether they're getting injured or these guys just straight up stink, like so many teams, we just always talk about injuries and bad quarterback play. So if you're going to have a quarterback rich draft, it makes sense to see a lot of them go in the first round, because you just never know which one of these are going to pan out at the NFL level.